So what is going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video where today we are going to be taking a look at the Maxis radios that can be found within Alpha Omega, where some secrets finally seem to be coming to light and Maxis realizes Monty's true plan. He discovers that what he is trying to do is in fact evil, not good, and tries to warn Richtofen by sending him radio messages. However, he isn't picking up. So anyway, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, a like rating of course would be appreciated anytime you feel like it, but if not, it's totally fine. Don't worry guys, thank you so much for watching anyway. Make sure you are subscribed, but let's get into it. Here we go. So I'm going to play you the radios first and then I'll come back and explain exactly what they mean after.
Richtofen, are you there? Edvard, I do not know if you're receiving me, but best connection I could establish. I cannot triangulate your exact position. Edvard, what is taking you so long? According to my calculations, by now you should have completed your mission and delivered the souls to the house. He is getting anxious. Dr. Monty, he suspects that you are acting against his wishes, plotting against him. I have assured him this is not the case, but his level of worry has me curious. There might be something more to his plan. I shall investigate further, old friend. I will let you know what I find. Richtofen? Edvard, I must assume you are receiving me. We must discuss Monty's plan. You are to follow through and deliver the souls. It will not resolve the paradox. Yes, the children will grow up and live in their perfect universe. But the blood vials, they will not break the cycle as you believe. They will perpetuate an endless loop. All those affected by element 115 will continue to be trapped and tortured by the ether's power. It would never end. The world will always break. You will always try to fix it. You will always travel to the house with the souls. You will always drink the blood, and then the cycle will repeat. I suspect Monty knows this. Perhaps the true cost of fixing all of reality is too great, even for him. I will reach out when I have more information. Edvard, work! Oh, that is much better. Everything is so complicated now, Edvard. Remember when the world was a simple place? No time travel, no multiverses, no paradoxes, no existential crises. It is the ether, Edvard. Once it touches something, that thing is forever corrupted. It cannot be undone. Do you not see, Edvard? Dr. Monty never planned on fixing anything. He could only start over. Well, he could fix it, but the cost of this would be too great, even to him. We were doomed the moment element 115 came to Earth. The only way to prevent all of this, the only way to halt the unraveling of space and time, which, need I remind you, we are both directly and indirectly responsible for, would be to purge element 115 from existence before it ever encountered humanity. How one would do this, how that would even be possible, I do not know. Dr. Monty must know this is the only true way to fix everything. Yet he chooses not to do this. There must be a reason. I will find out why. By this point, I must assume you are receiving these messages. I hope you are, especially after what I have just learned. I believe I have uncovered why Dr. Monty will not destroy element 115. The ether is inextricably linked with Agartha. They are one and the same. Agartha, the physical space, is constructed and exists of the ether. From this we can surmise there is no way to destroy the ether unless Agartha itself were to be destroyed. Now, the ramifications for destroying Agartha are not yet clear. After all, it's interwoven into the fabric of all realities, meaning its destruction would impact all of existence. It could very well reset all of time and space. Imagine restarting the universe, but without the influence of the ether. Yes, this is the reason. This is why Dr. Monty will not truly fix the paradox. Destroying Agartha, it would mean the end of him. Richtofen! Richtofen, damn you, I need to know if you're receiving this. This could be problematic. I may need to resort to drastic measures. Stand by, Richtofen. Wait on my signal. You will hear from me very soon.
So as we can hear, Maxis contacts Richtofen asking him where he is. By now, at this point in time, Richtofen should have arrived back at the house with the souls. They should be in Monty's hands where he could turn all of them into children. But of course, as we know, that didn't happen. Instead, the crew got trapped in Blood of the Dead where they broke the cycle. They then travelled to Classified to meet up with the Ultimus crew, and they've now gone to Broken Arrow, Alpha Omega, to collect the elemental shard. None of this was part of Monty's original plan. They were only supposed to go to Blood of the Dead for a few minutes, collect the blood vials, return back, go to Gorod Karovi, collect Nikolai's soul, where they would give them to Monty, and then travel to the house where revelations would happen. That was the original plan that Richtofen, Maxis, and Monty came up with. But, like we've seen, things haven't gone if they should have. The Canorium changed. Richtofen learnt that actually Monty's evil. He learnt that he's been keeping them trapped in this unlimited cycle, this loop, and so broke it, and then went on a quest to Classified and Broken Arrow on this journey to take Monty down. So, as we can see, Maxis is saying in these radios, Dr. Monty and also him himself, because Richtofen clearly hasn't let Maxis know what the new plan is. Well, we hear Maxis telling Richtofen that Monty is beginning to get suspicious. By now they should be back at the house, but they aren't, so he's wondering where they are. But anyway, Maxis said, don't worry, I've reassured Monty that everything's okay, that the original plan is still on, there just must be a hold-up or something. But then Maxis also says, this has me curious. The fact that Monty is so worried, he feels like there's something more to his plan, and so Maxis begins to look into this. And the more he investigates into what Monty's doing, he finally discovers what we've known all along, that our characters are trapped in this infinite, endless cycle, doing the same thing over and over again. He tells Richtofen that the blood vials won't end the paradox. They are not going to break the cycle as he believes they would. Of course, we found out in Revelations that that was true. After the premise crew drink the blood vials, it just means they continue living and Monty has a chance to reset the cycle. He told us all the blood vials do is perpetuate the endless loop, and all of those affected by 115 will continue to be trapped and tortured by the ether's power. It will never end. The world will always break. You will always try to fix it. You will always travel to the house with the souls. You will always drink the blood, and then the cycle will repeat. No matter what they do, this cycle, the infinite loop, they can't seem to find a way to break it. Every time, the same events, one way or another, happen again and again and again. But he suspects that Monty already knew this, and that the cost of fixing all of reality is too great even for him. Monty's plan never was to fix it. It was actually to keep the cycle going. Maxis discovers that it's all to do with the ether. Once it touches something, whatever that is, it is corrupted forever, and it can't be undone. We've seen in our zombie storyline people like Richtofen, Samantha, they came into contact with the ether, which corrupted them and turned them evil. More recently in our storyline, Cornelius Purnell again came into contact with the ether, and two other characters that we know of, Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man, have also at one point a very long time ago, in the beginning, came into contact with the ether as well. He tells us that Monty never planned on fixing anything. Well, he could fix it, but the cost would be too great even for him. Everyone was doomed the moment Element 115 came into contact with Earth. And the only way to prevent this, the only way to halt the unraveling of space and time, would be to purge Element 115 from existence before it ever encountered humanity. Which finally explains why our characters are going back to the Great War in DLC 4. The moment of when 115 first came into contact with the Earth was in 5 AD, which was when the Apothecans sent meteors of the element to our planet. September 3rd, 5 AD was the date of when element 115 first came into contact with the Earth. The reason they did this was because they believed one day humanity would use 115 to wage war against themselves, opening a rift that would allow the Apothicans to escape the Dark Ether, which is of course what happened many years later. The Great War would take place in the 1300s, and then again many more years later, in 1900, Group 935 discovered it and began to mess about with it. So the reason our characters could be going back to the Great War is to not only stop the Apothicans and the Keepers, but also to make sure element 115 never encounters humanity. And as Dr. Maxis digs even deeper into Monty's plan, he believes he discovers why Monty wants to keep this cycle going and won't destroy element 115. He tells us that the ether is inexplicitly linked to Agartha. They are one and the same. Agartha is a physical space, but it is constructed and exists. It is made of the ether. Without one or the other, neither of these two things can exist. And so this means they can't destroy the ether without destroying Agartha as well. However, he says if they do destroy Agartha, he's not too sure what problems could come of this, since it's interwoven with all realities, including theirs, meaning if they do destroy it, it could mean that all of time and space is reset. The universe would start over again, however this time without the ether, which explains exactly why Monty has been keeping our characters in this cycle. It explains why he won't purge 115 for himself. It is integral to his survival. In order to destroy the ether, you need to destroy Agartha, and if we destroy Agartha, it could mean the end of Monty. He dies if those two things are destroyed. And then we could see in the last radio, Maxis was clearly having issues. It seems like Monty is latching onto what Maxis has discovered, and as we could see in the ending, Monty does learn of their new plan. He learns that they're going to go against him. They're going to attempt to destroy the ether and Agartha, and so we can see Monty eats Maxis. But that explains why Monty's been keeping our characters in a cycle. It is because this way he could continue to exist. As long as this same cycle keeps going, element 115, Agartha, the ether all continue to be there, which keeps Monty alive. But this is a problem for everyone else because the ether is bad. It corrupts everyone that comes into contact with it. Back in the beginning, where there was only the ether, the Keepers, along with two beings who were Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man, well, we know the ether already corrupted some of the Keepers, which turned them into the Apothicans, along with the Shadow Man, but clearly since it existed alongside Monty as well, it also corrupted him. Not only him, but the other Keepers. So the Apothicans, the Keepers, Monty and the Shadow Man have all come into contact with the ether, and without it, it could mean they are no more. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts of this down in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed the video. If you have, you know what to do, drop a like rating. Thank you guys so much for the support on the videos. It really does mean a lot to me. Make sure you are subscribed if you aren't already, and until next time, goodbye.